Kind of a suggestion do you have now for Acclaim and what they should do to improve Two Moons itself in order to prevent any future people from leaving Two Moons and going on to a private server, albeit how short of a time that they may leave for?
Well, as a former VGM, I really strongly believe they should give VGMs more power. I believe they should give them tools to do the job. For example, they should allow them to have invisibility. They should be able to have ghost mode. I mean, the GMs can do it. It can be done. I know you can make VGM tools. It takes some effort, but it can be done, and it should be done, because that would drastically reduce the number of hackers that roam the servers all the time. And if you reduce the number of hackers that roam the servers all the time, you're going to have a lot happier player base, because they feel like their efforts aren't wasted. That's probably the biggest problem in Two Moons, is that a lot of the legit players that still play feel like their efforts are wasted because so many hackers roam free all the time.
Oh yeah, well, I definitely know that feeling. So, I know Two Moons probably isn't the only game that has private servers, right?
Oh, they're definitely, there are private servers for just about any MMO game you want to, any MMO you want to play, you can find a private server for it. I think the main reason that they're so popular and took off so quickly in Two Moons was that right about the time everybody was really starting to get fed up with support and the way things don't quite work as smoothly as a lot of people would like them to. Right as soon as everybody was really getting fed up with that, the private server files were released. The server files that were needed to run a private server surfaced on the internet, and that really lent a lot to how many of the players disappeared.
Well, do you also think that the fact that a lot of them are advertising they have Action 5 and 6 already out, playable in their games, is another contributing factor?
From what I've seen, any of them that advertise having Action 5 and 6 in-game are, I would say, at least 70% lying, because generally, if it's there, it doesn't work properly, and I would have to imagine that's what's holding Acclaim off on it, is to make sure everything comes from Game High, everything comes through officially as it should, and to make sure everything's working the way it should before they implement it and have a train wreck on their official servers.
Yeah, I guess I'd rather wait than have to play a extremely buggy game. So all in all, what would be your take on whether or not a player should check out a private server or stay with Two Moons?
I would say, honestly, it's really not worth it to go to the private server, because, there's nothing to gain from going to a private server. A lot of people say, the support in Two Moons is bad. It's generally worse in the private servers. They say the Two Moons servers are laggy or they're glitchy. It's a lot worse on the private servers. The only real bonus is that you don't have to spend the time leveling. But, that even has drawbacks, because Two Moons, I think, it's a very good game. It certainly has the basis to be a great game. Sure, there are some things that could use work, but that's pretty much the case with any game. But really, the only thing a private server does is cause you to get bored with the game faster. And if you like Two Moons, it'd be a real shame to go to a private server, level in a couple days, and then you're bored and done with the game, in a very short time. There's just really no point to even go to the private servers.
Very true. Now I gotta ask, should Historian and My Two Moons be put in a cage fight? Who would you think would come out alive?
That's a tricky one, because Historian, if I'm not mistaken, he's getting close to 40, but from the sound of his voice, he doesn't sound 40. But he's taken a lot of abuse over the years from the players, and though it's not physical abuse, it had to toughen him up at least a little bit. So I think I have to give the edge to Historian on that one.
Yeah, my money would have been on him anyways, too. But, as a referee for that fight, would you allow them to use any collegial rings?
Oh, absolutely. It wouldn't be an acclaimed fight without those rings.
Well, it's about time we should start wrapping things up here. So, Kraf, do you have any final words or thoughts or advice for any of our listeners that are listening right now?
All right. Really, just the best advice for any player is you just stay away from the private servers. I mean, it's a free game. It's a free download. Just download it, play on their official servers. If you feel the need to go to the private servers, don't spend money on the private server. I mean, you're not going to stay. If you're going to spend money on the game at all, do it on the official one. At least there you can get, there's longevity. You know that it's not going under nearly as soon as a private server is going to. And I mean, the private servers, they've got low support, and they'll always, they're just going to fall apart as soon as the initial craze that you're talking about right now, as soon as that craze is gone, the private servers are done. I mean, that's all there is to it.
Well, so I guess it isn't even worth the wasted bandwidth downloading a 2 Moons private server. Now, you got anything else to add there, Kraf?
I am the ruiner of worlds.
So you heard it right here. KrafDinner is the ruiner of worlds. Well, before you go, why don't you give us a shameless little plug here, Kraf?
This is former 2 Moons VGM KrafDinner, aka Fuzzbuster, and you're listening to the best gaming radio station on the inner tubes, talkMMO. And as you've all heard, I'm too legit to quit.